If you have trouble sleeping, Playtime Company's new toy will put an end to your problems. That being said, the company's not responsible for any potential nightmares you might have using it. To ensure a restful sleep, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. Now we're going to tell you all the hidden details of the second teaser trailer of Poppy Playtime Chapter 3. Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 is subtitled Deep Sleep because this new episode is closely related to sleep. One of the toys is responsible for putting the children of Playcare to sleep so that they can be experimented on. Although, if you read what's written on a note on the wall, it ends up giving them nightmares. This chapter is called Deep Sleep because the children sleep so deeply that their nightmares seem real. In several scenes from the Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 teaser, we can see pictures of sad-looking children hung in frames on the wall. It seems that these children ended up in Playcare after visiting the game station, making them orphans in search of a home. The cruel truth behind this is that Playtime Company experimented on them to create living toys. This purple monster is the main enemy of Poppy Playtime Chapter 3, just like Mommy Longlegs was in Chapter 2 and Huggy Wuggy in the first one. So far, we know it has sharp claws and bright eyes, but its most important feature is that it can emit a reddish gas that puts those who breathe it to sleep. On the Playtime Company's website, there's a video that shows the gas coming out of a machine, a demonstration of how this potent narcotic works. Its reddish color suggests that it contains poppy extract, because if you didn't know, poppies contain opium, and opium is a powerful narcotic that causes drowsiness, loss of consciousness, and elimination of pain. At the end of Poppy Playtime Chapter 2, Poppy diverts the train to Playcare, the place shown in this Chapter 3 teaser. On the ground, there is something on fire and a pile of stones blocking the way, making it so you're only able to go through the entrance to the Playcare, which has a sign over the door. Certainly, the noises with screaming children do not seem like a good omen for what's happened in there. For a moment, at the beginning of the teaser, you can see a black and white scene with a gas mask. If you adjust the brightness and contrast of the image, zigzagging letters appear, forming the word Spectre Meet Us, which could be translated as the Spectre found us, but instead it turns out to be the password to access the computer files on the official Playtime Company website that appears at the end of the trailer. From here, you can extract the video of the gas test and a mysterious letter that we'll discuss later. In the first teaser of Poppy Playtime Chapter 3, there was a gas mask on the factory floor, but this mask did not have a direct relationship with the appearance of a new monster. Instead, it served to protect us from it. These masks were possibly used by Playtime Company scientists to protect themselves from the gas that the monster emitted to put the children to sleep, thereby allowing them to experiment on the children without being affected by the gas themselves. Almost all the scenes in this Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 video have one thing in common: scratches on various surfaces that traverse several rooms until we see the claw in the shadows in the final scene. This claw belongs to the main enemy in Chapter 3 because besides sleeping, it has more violent ways of defending itself. It could be some kind of a cat because of the shape of its face and the use of claws, but we bet that it's something like a griffin related to Hypnos, the Greek god of sleep, and thus it would have wings on the upper body and claws on its feet. Huggy Wuggy has gone from being a terrible monster that chased you through ventilation ducts to being the main victim in Poppy Playtime. During the teaser, we can see one of the mini Huggy Wuggy dolls lying on the floor without its head and a lot of blood around it. To make things worse, there's a picture of its head on a stick. This way of treating the toys suggests that there are bad toys that serve Leith Pierre and Playtime Company with the goal of hunting down the good ones. You surely know this theory if you've watched our video about the good toys, so if you haven't seen it, check it out. There's a red phone lying on the floor in one of the scenes, but it's not the first time a phone like this has appeared in Poppy Playtime. This phone was the item you could get as a gift in the second season of Project Playtime, the multiplayer game of Poppy Playtime that tells the story of how some workers must collect toy remnants from the factory and return alive. Back to the website, there's a letter telling the story of Marie Payne, a girl who presumably breathed the red gas and began to have violent nightmares. This is what happened. Marie Payne, a child within my care, began violently screaming just after the lights went off. She was experiencing an intense nightmare, only she didn't wake from it. Her eyes darted around the room. Her skin was pale like a ghost. Her lips were blue, her heart was racing, and her skin was hot on the touch. 3 of us had to hold her down on the stretcher for her safe transport. As for the cause, the caretaker said the following. I can only guess at this point, as infuriating as that is. I've noticed a group of boys who pick on her, teasing her around during their playtime. It could be them causing this. Maybe it was something that was missed during her monthly checkup on the previous period. It seems the workers at Playtime Company did not know about the experiments being done on the children. This is not the first time that the name Marie Payne appears in Poppy Playtime, because it was the name by which Mommy Longlegs was known when she was human. Marie Payne did not work at the factory, but she was a girl from Playcare who ended up as an experiment by Playtime Company. In Braun's video, they explained that he was a factory worker and the rest of the toys knew he was different, and this caused them to beat him nearly to death. Now, I don't know about you, but I think this is further evidence supporting the theory that toys with the souls of children only want to be free and take revenge on Playtime Company, while those with souls of the workers are tools of the company and Leith Pierre. So on one hand we have the good toys and on the other bad toys. If you see the image of some candles on the floor, it may seem that Playtime Company has its own church, but there's an explanation for this as well. A strange ritual is being performed in the factory that involves all the things common in rituals. There are lit candles, a sacrifice like Huggy Wuggies, and a lot of messages written on the wall praising something that promises salvation. Can you guess who might be the leader of this toy cult? During a moment in the teaser for Poppy Playtime Chapter 3, the shadow of what is likely Experiment 1006 appears, the metallic hand that picked up the remnants of Mommy Longlegs in Chapter 2 and probably also those of Huggy Wuggy in Chapter 1. This monster is made up of the remnants of a bunch of toys, and if you pay attention, you can see the arms and gloves of Mommy Longlegs, the body of
Candy Cat,
or even a head of Huggy Wuggy at the top. With a password that is written in the dark area of the report, you can access a security camera system on the Playtime Company website. Here, you can see videos of areas that the protagonist visits in Poppy Playtime Chapters 1 and 2. Among all the phrases that have been seen on the wall, this one here stands out the most. Never forget the hour of joy. If you remember the tape in which Kissy Missy was transported, you could read on one of the tunnel walls something like the hour of joy is at hand. It seems that the hour of joy is something important. In fact, Playtime Company has dedicated a special t-shirt to it for Chapter 3 in its store. It is still unknown what it's about, but it could be related to the bedtime of the children, or perhaps the name of a special moment to perform the ritual that we mentioned earlier. Leave us your Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 theories in the comments and we can compare them. And while you're down there, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our next videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.